Lorbo, Lorbo, Jeetbo. The phrase that every KKR fan lives by since the inception of the IPL. And today on the show with Third Man Cricket Show, you're going to hear lots of Korbo, Lorbo, Jeetbo from the members on the panel and even in the comment section. So welcome everyone. Welcome to yet another episode on the Third Man Cricket Show's IPL Build Up. And this time we got the famous Kolkata Knight Riders, the Purple Army as we like to call them. And to talk about KKR, we got a very special guest in Abhijeet here. So let me just remind you, we like to call Abhijeet the man with the many jerseys, to be very honest, because of his collection of jerseys that he has. I mean, name any team you want, he will have a jersey about that team and the player in his cabinet. So welcome Abhijeet. Really good to have you on the show, man, to talk about KKR. I mean, no better person will describe the team more than you do, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sanchit. Thanks for bringing the jersey part. Just now I did a shoot with the IPL broadcaster, so that also feel very nice. And yeah, I have that passion for jerseys, and I will keep on collecting.
Definitely, yes. And jersey collecting was actually is your kind of hobby, but for KKR's sake, I mean, you obviously want the team to be collecting trophies like they used to do in the 2012 to 2014 period under the leadership of Gautam Gambhir. So before we actually start with KKR, we obviously know that Abhijeet, you speak so fondly about the great man Gautam Gambhir and how much of an impact he's had on KKR. So just tell the viewers about how do you feel about Gambhir's tenure in the KKR colors in that period, and how was this? How was it for a fan of every KKR for every fan of the KKR team to live in those glory moments in that year?
Yeah, to be honest, if you describe few players and franchise relationship, then someone like Virat Kohli, RCB, MS Dhoni, CSK, Rohit Sharma, MI, the same will go with Gautam Gambhir and KKR. Despite playing only 7 years, rest all the combo played for more than 10 years with their franchise. But Gautam Gambhir just played for 7 years, and in those years, two trophy wins, and that's to almost all the time we were in the contention of playoffs. Only in 2013 we are in the bottom part of the league, but in 2015 when we did not qualify for the playoffs, that's so at that time also till the last match we were in the top four. So Gautam Gambhir has a very huge impact in Knight Riders franchise because he's someone who not only spoke, he also did what he spoke. He was the man who led from the front. He was the batsman, he was the opener, so always he was in the contention of orange cap. And if you look at, these days he makes some controversial comments like Virat Kohli should give up captaincy or something like that. But he did the same with Delhi Capitals, and he also says like his credit should be given when it's due. He gave his man of the match award to other players, like he has done if in India as an Indian captain, he gave his man of the match to Virat, and same he did. He gave his man of the match to Devabrata Dance once in 2012 in initial few matches because KKR were not closing in properly. So he gives importance to everyone, and honestly, after 2017, the Dinesh Karthik era began, and only in 2018 we qualified for the playoffs. And last 2 years, the result speaks for itself. We did not qualify for the playoffs, and definitely we do miss Gautam Gambhir era, but it's hard truth that he is not coming back to KKR anymore.
Well, Sanchit, if I can just state something, I remember the final between KKR and CSK. If I'm not wrong, KKR were actually chasing something around 200, which is a huge score to chase in a final, if I'm not wrong, and they did it brilliantly well. Gautam Gambhir played well. I think Manvinder Bisla played a very important role in that game. So I just want to ask you, Abhijeet, that can you just describe what were your feelings when KKR lifted that trophy, in that year, and what was going on when the target was 200 and, your boys eventually led to lift the trophy?
To be honest, if I recall, that was, if I'm not wrong, it's I think June 1 or maybe in 2014 we won in June 1st. But at that time, Sunil Narine was at its peak. He was, KKR were restricting every opposition in 140 or 145 kind of scores. But on that very final, Suresh Raina played a blinder. He scored Sunil Narine, and he scored against Sunil Narine, and Sunil Narine, if I'm not wrong, ended up with a score with a figure of 35 for 0 wickets. That was not the kind of total that we wanted on the board to chase. But again, I mean, we had the faith in Gautam Gambhir, but again, Ben Hilfen has got that wicket. After that, unlikely hero Manvinder Bisla, as you rightly said, he came in. I mean, if I talk about on that very specific match, the momentum was with KKR, and Saki was doing well, and he showed it. The partnership between initially Bisla and Kalis, then Sakib chipped in, and then at the end, Manoj Tiwari scored 2 boundaries and won us the match. But honestly, on that after 2011, all KKR fans might have been a little bit in the side where they have the extra confidence. In 2012, in the final, we have that confidence because that build-up was there, that momentum was there. But that emotion was something different because we could not forget the first 3 years how it went. So from coming back we were the only teams who did not qualify for the playoffs in first 3 years. From coming back to I mean that kind of situation, then going back in 2011 we qualified for the playoffs, and in 2012 we bettered that feat. So in 2012 all the emotions were extremely high, and I was literally doing that jersey celebration like what Dada did in front of my friends, if I could remember.
Definitely, yes. And we could actually go on talking about those glory moments in 2012 and 2014. But sadly, the harsh reality for KKR after Gautam Gambhir's era, I mean, we obviously like to call this era as post Gambhir era and pre Gambhir era. We like to divide two different eras for KKR. So let us now discuss about the current season that is going on. So can we just have the points table on display to retrospect about KKR's position in the this year's IPL. So as we know that obviously KKR aren't doing really well in this year. Placed at seventh place, playing 7 matches, 2 wins out of 5, and net run rate of minus 0.4. So obviously not. It hasn't been a memorable time so far for KKR, but. Uh, Abhijit, I would really like to ask you this. I mean, obviously, we have seen it time and again. Even in 2014, if you recall, I mean, KKR weren't in a good position in that season also when the UAE leg ended. But they managed to win, I think, 7 or 8 matches in a row and then eventually won the trophy. So, are you feeling optimistic this time as well? But do you feel that maybe the captaincy part is a little bit of a topic to debate about for Morgan? I mean, we obviously like to talk a lot about Owen Morgan, the captain, when it comes to KKR. So I want to know your perspective about what's your take. Do you feel that people are being so harsh on Morgan and his captaincy that he's not getting enough credits for what he's done so far for England as well as KKR?
Honestly speaking, we should not be comparing it with a season like 2014, because in 2014 we did not lose the way we are losing these days. At that time, our opening, the inception of Gothappa partnership between Gambhir and Uttappa, it clicked so well in the initial stage that we were not able to finish well. That's when we were losing. But right now, we are not clicking as a complete unit. Either you are bowling well, like against Mumbai Indians, Russell took 5 wickets this year, but we choked. Like when KKR were needing around run a ball in last 5 overs. I mean, with 6 or 7 wickets in hand. But if you look at other matches against RCB, we gave, I mean, Siraj so many wickets that from that momentum he has become India's one of the key bowler right now. So we are sometimes we are either batting well, sometimes we are only bowling well. So this season cannot be compared with 2014 because there we were losing some close matches. At the moment, as you rightly said about Owen Morgan, since the time Sunil Narine started opening for KKR, there has been a lot of debate about what its position should be. And because of the Sunil Narine experiment and the way KKR is approaching the power play, there has been a lot of debate on whether Russell should come ahead of Morgan, why Morgan is coming at 6. But KKR has kept their plan simple. If a slower bowler is bowling and if any wicket falls, then Sunil Narine is coming to bat, and sometimes when collapse is there, Morgan is DK is coming ahead of uh, Russell. So in that way, KKR are doing those things, but it's when you are failing as a batting unit, everything comes under scrutiny. And the one more problem is having a player like, I somehow feel Shubman Gill is a lighter version of someone like Sanju Samson. Sanju Samson starts from the ball one, but he's not Chris Gale or ABD. Shubman Gill is also not a six hitter, or he's also not a natural six hitter. But if you are a player, a player like Shubman Gill should at least score a 50 ball 70 or a 60 ball 80, so that other player can chip in around him, and KKR can look to score a 200. But Shubman Gill is also not doing that well, and somehow I feel only Nitish Rana and Rahul Tripathi are doing well in terms of batting, and Morgan's form is also on and off, on and off, and Russell, I seriously doubt if he's happy with his batting position. He should get at least 10 to 12 overs to bat. So yeah, Morgan's captaincy is all about. Uh, I mean, even I don't know what is happening, because the temptation to play Sunil Narine as a pinch hitter will always be there, because what he has done for KKR is incredible. So that temptation will always be there. But to go against that and create a winning habit, that Morgan and McCullum has to bring in any way.
Definitely, yes. And a
Abhijeet,
reminder to everyone. Yeah,
Sanchit, can I ask? I've got just a question for Abhijeet.
yeah,
He
sure.
just referred to a lot of controversy going on about Sunil Narayan's batting position. So, in your personal opinion, if अगर मैं आपसे आपका personal opinion पूछूं, so do you think that KKR are really missing a trick in not opening with Sunil Narayan, because we have seen him giving KKR those really fast starts. So 5 over में 60, 70, we've seen all those scores being there when Sunil Narayan is opening the innings. So do you think that they are missing a trick here?
To be honest, at the moment, even a 3-year-old kid will know that Sunil Narine struggles against short ball. So, except for Kings 11 Punjab and unfortunately Rajasthan Royals, every team has now got one bowler who is targeting Sunil Narine towards that head or below head, somewhere around shoulder position, so that he is getting out very cheaply. I mean, Deepak Chahar or Jasprit Bumrah, and from Delhi, no, Enrique Nokia. In every team, there is one premium fast bowler, even Siraj with his swing. They are not giving Sunil Narine any room, because his mantra has been clear the front foot and swing. So nobody is giving that extra room to Sunil Narine. Also, it's very unlikely for a captain to feed slow bowler or rather spin bowler to Sunil Narine at the moment, because he is extremely destructive against spin bowlers, because he himself is a Mr. Spinner, so he might be picking up other bowlers very easily. So KKR, honestly speaking, KKR is not missing a trick by not sending him as an opener. Maybe in a match against Punjab or Rajasthan Royals, they might send him. But against a team like CSK, MI, or Delhi, who are even SRH, Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Sandeep Sharma, there are many fast bowlers in almost every team has a good mix of fast bowlers at this point. So maybe against other teams they won't send him, because Tripathi and Rana at the moment, Tripathi and sometimes Nitish Rana, they are coming. I mean, either of one will be opening with Shubman Gill. Most probably it will be Nitish Rana only. So Sunil Narine won't be. I don't see him opening for KKR anymore, as long as there is. The weakness in opponent fast bowling department is there.
Yes, definitely. And also let us remind our viewers that Vansh is also a die-hard KKR fan, as you can see him wearing the KKR jersey very proudly. So Vansh, I would request you to ask a question if you want to Abhijit, and he'll get it well clarified.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about Tim Southey coming in as a replacement for Pat Cummins, and so many people are asking if it's the right replacement, as Sanket here in the comments is doing. But Abhijit, do you think that we are missing Pat Cummins a lot? Because although he was expensive, he used to take those important wickets, and obviously we all know what he did with the bat as well. So, do you think it's the right replacement, or do you think I mean Saudi will have a good time in UAE with the fresh pitches as well?
To be honest, we did not have any choice. I must say, I am going to miss Pat Cummins, the all-rounder, rather than the Pat Cummins, the bowler, because Pat Cummins, the bowler, Barnata is doing some. Okay, anyway, so Pat Cummins, the bowler, has been average. He is I mean, he will always be in the top rankings in terms of test match bowling. But to be honest, was he that much? Except for one match where I think against SRH, where he took some wickets in the power play. Other than that, he has been leaking runs. And to be honest, I mean, in 2018, 2019, Loki Ferguson came into Kkr squad as the specialist fast bowler, and he got all the chances. He, alongside Harry Gurney, used to bowl, and he did not fancy his chances that much that KKR would have shown enough confidence in him to make him their primary fast bowler. But because they missed one genuine fast bowler, they went to Pat Cummins, and because Pat Cummins came with that reputation of a number one test bowler, he went to that much price. Otherwise, if you look at other bowlers, Rabada is far. I mean, Rabada would have gone for same amount if he would have been in the auction in that year. That is basically a supply and demand equation. So the thing is, at the moment, I won't miss Pat Cummins much, the bowler, because Loki Ferguson, whenever he got the chance in the last year in UAE, he did his bowling pretty well. He nailed his Yorkers especially. So Pat Cummins had made way for Loki Ferguson in the squad. But coming back to Team Saudi, he has not been regular in franchisee cricket, but he has been bowling in all formats for New Zealand, and maybe that Brandon McCullum effect will do some magic. And definitely, if form of any, I mean, Loki Ferguson goes down, or maybe if Russell gets injured, I mean, God's sake, I mean, touch wood, I won't want that. In that case, he is a good option to get the right balance in the squad. And yeah, we did not have any options, so we went for Team South.
Yes, definitely. I think it's a good point that you made about Tim Saudi, because I was going to ask you a question related to that. So before we actually talk about the squad, so let us have the overall KKR squad in detail, so we know which are the key players for them. So as you can see on your screen, this is the KKR squad that we have for this season. So quite a balanced squad, but unfortunately not been working well. And as Abhijit and Vansh rightly pointed out, why isn't working well? So I think we'll be coming down to the playing 11 part really quickly. But Abhijit, you spoke a little bit about Lockie Ferguson and the rest of the overseas players for that matter. So I want to know your thoughts. Like, for some reason, there are some people debating about the fact that Dinesh Karthik should be batting higher up the order rather than being a finisher. I'm not sure what to make of that situation, because I do believe he's a good finisher for KKR and also did pretty well in certain times as well. But do you feel that in the crisis situation like this, when Morgan is being inconsistent, do you feel maybe having DK up the order a little bit would help KKR sake of building those crucial partnership in the middle overs?
Uh, Actually, at the moment, it's more like which batsman fits where, which batsman is suited more for which role. KKR has Shubman Gill, and I mean, it's no brainer that he will be opening at any cost, because otherwise they won't play him. Same goes with Nitish Rana. Nitish Rana can, I mean, he is more of a top order batsman rather than finisher, although he has played as a finisher for Mumbai Indians before. Same goes with Rahul Tripathi. So if you are picking three batsmen, these three batsmen, they are going to play in the top three at any cost. Now the debate will be Morgan, Dinesh Karthik, and Andre Russell. I do feel Morgan is a better top order batsman than DK. So and DK has proved his worth as a finisher a lot of time, and he has given up red ball cricket also for to concentrate as a T20 specialist, and it will be very highly unlikely to see Dinesh Karthik up the order, given that Morgan is already there, and also there is one Andre Russell there, who who is KKR's. In world he is the best finisher at the moment. So it will be highly unlikely to see Dinesh Karthik going ahead of Owen Morgan, but you never know. If they want any left right combination in the middle, they might go, or maybe if Morgan is hitting well, if he wants to take that role of a finisher against a team like Mumbai Indians, when the death bowling will be dealt with. Jasprit Bumrah, who know he might have 3 overs remaining in the last 5 or 6 overs. So in that case, we can see DK going ahead of Morgan, or if KKR is like 10 for 3 or 10 for 4 wickets, then only he will have that role of building that partnership. Otherwise, I don't see that coming.
Well, good points made there. And already in the comment section, you can see Mumbai Indians fans chirping about. Obviously, let's not talk about Mumbai Indians versus KKR rivalry. Should we call it a rivalry, Abhijeet? Let's be
Yeah,
fair. Is it a rivalry? It's really odd.
to be honest, it's a one-sided rivalry at the moment, because we have been losing so badly against Mumbai Indians. This year also, by 15 over, I could not digest like how come KKR is in a winning position. Then I had that thought going in my subconscious that something is going to happen, something is going to happen, because I'm also a TKR fan, and TKR has been known for dominating heavily, because last year they did not lose a single match, and there the captain is Pollard, and that connection is there. I somehow feel Mumbai Indians and TK are homologous to each other. So Mumbai Indians, last time I remember we won in 2019, then 2015 first match. So I can pick in hand on which occasion we won against Mumbai Indians. So yeah, that has been a rivalry. If, for us it's a rivalry, because even if we win one, that would be a good thing for us. Though, despite of losing to Mumbai Indians, we have done well if you look at an entire tournament, because we have that dominance against Punjab Kings. We have won against them 19 times. If you look at team by team comparison, KKR is worst because MI has beaten them 21. But in second, we have that again list. This time we are as the winner. So we are balancing it somewhere. If we look at last 2 years, RCB has dominated us, but before that, from 2016, we have seen many times how we have dominated RCB. So yes, MI has dominated us. There is a rivalry ongoing, but we also managed to dominate other teams, and that's how it balances out.
Well, yes, other teams actually include Rajasthan Royals for that matter. Obviously, we have seen it time and again that KKR is always the ones to crush my dreams. It has happened not once, not twice, but more than twice. So it really is a different story. And even in this season, Abhijeet, KKR versus RR is the last match of both the teams. So we don't want a similar situation. We don't want a.
If I remember, in 2015, there was a match where we just needed to win, where Azhar Mahmood played. If you remember, that was against Rajasthan Royals. Rajasthan Royals scored some 190 and KKR ended up at 180. That was the last match. So in 2015, before that match, actually before last 3 or 4 match, KKR were at the top, and they just needed to qualify in terms of run rate also. Then the result went so bad that KKR went out of top 2 because they lost against Mumbai. Then against the last match was like, just win this match against Rajasthan Royals, then KKR would be through. But Azhar Mahmood, you remember that match, right?
Yes, Azhar Mahmood scored 100, right?
Yes. So it's not like always we have spoiled the party for RR, but RR has spoiled our party in 2015, and actually for us, SRH has been the party spoiler in last 3-4 years. We always fight for one spot, either it will be us or the SRH. In 2016 we lost to SRH. They went in the qualifier. They went on to become champion. In 2017, we lost. I mean, 2017 we won a rain-affected game, and 2018 we again lost to SRH. So that uh, thing is already ongoing against SRH for us.
Definitely, we all have those party spoilers always for each and every team. I mean, obviously for Mumbai Indians, it has been Rajasthan Royals since the last 2-3 years or so. So for your team, especially who are watching in the comments, name your team. Who do you feel is the party spoilers for your respective team? I mean, we would love to hear see your thoughts. So Abhijit, before we actually, yeah, so we'll be moving towards the predicted 11 part, but after that, we want to talk about one player, and we know who is it going to be, and we have been talking about that player for quite so long. Why is he not getting enough chances in terms of KKR's bowling, and why was he treated why was he mistreated in India? So you obviously know who I'm talking about. So we'll be talking about him in detail. But first, let us have our predicted 11 for KKR for the starting of this second leg of the season. So we got Shubman Gill, Rana, Tripathi in the top three. Then Owen Morgan, the skipper, at number 4, Russell 5, Dinesh Karthik at 6 as the finisher, and Tim Saudi will be coming back for Pat Cummings because he has the ability to hit the ball for odd one for 6. And Lockie Ferguson will make his way into the 11 as well. And Prasidh Krishna, Kuldeep Yadav. So yes, you got that right. It is a bold call that we decided to go in with Kuldeep Yadav ahead of Harbhajan Singh, who KKR tried in the first leg, and Varun Chakravarti, of course, the mystery bowler. So Abhijit, before I ask you about your playing 11, I want to know your thoughts about Kuldeep Yadav. So obviously, I remember we were on a live, Instagram live in July, just before the India Sri Lanka series, and you had a live discussing about Kuldeep Yadav for that matter, and you obviously wanted KKR to do something better for Kuldeep Yadav in terms of everything. And we got mega auction coming up, so we might not know whether we'll see Kuldeep Yadav in KKR colors again or not. So I want to know your thoughts about how do you feel as a KKR fan when you see the team not playing someone like Kuldeep Yadav in 11?
See, the it has always been the case with I mean any sort of spinner who has little bit mystery to them. Uh, Ajanta Mendes went through this when he started getting picked up. Akila Dhananjay. Then there are even Sunil Narin went through that phase. So at the moment, if you look at Indian squad, even Kuldeep, not only Kuldeep Yadav, and they did not go for Yuzvendra Chahal. So to be honest, I feel really, really bad for Kuldeep Yadav because KKR invested him very promptly in 2014. Then in Champions League, he played so well that he directly got that India debut. Although he did not get a match against Australia, he directly went to just after the KKR Champions League phase, he directly went to Indian squad. After that, then again 1-2 years break. Then again he came back to Indian squad, and how I mean, uh, uh, there in Kulcha, then 2017 Champions Trophy, then 5 wickets in Australia, then 6 wickets. In his debut match in Dharamsala, he got 6 wickets. That David Warner wicket, Steve Smith wicket. I mean, he was unsung. But in T20, I somewhere felt he was always been an impactful bowler because he defended 6 runs against Delhi Capitals with the likes of Pant and Shreyas Iyer. I mean, that match went to become a tie thanks to Kuldeep Yadav bowling the last over and defended just 6 runs. But that Moeen Ali over once came. That Moeen Ali smacked him for 6 and even I did not. I just felt his body language went off. Dinesh Karthik just literally pulled him to uh, just to make him better or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he was mentally not expecting such a lowdown or such a role reversal in terms of his bowling. Uh, so maybe that is the incident after which he got dropped. He got dropped from KKR squad. He got dropped. I mean, he did not take wickets in last year. Also, KKR played him, but he did not take wicket in the first 6 matches. So also, it has to do more with the rise of Rahul Chahar, the bowler for Indian squad, because he started getting picked by the selectors. And in KKR squad, it was Varun Chakravarti. Because if you look at someone like Varun Chakrabarti, he went on from being a net bowler to directly in Indian squad, and he's already in the T20 World Cup squad at the moment. So if somebody is bowling so well, it's very hard to look beyond that person. And KKR already has a Sunil Narine, the designated uh, foreign overseas spin bowler. So two spots already taken, and it's very unlikely to see the third spinner in a playing 11 in T20, but an Indian and UAE condition, it is there. So somehow KKR went for experience in terms of Harbhajan Singh, because he is, I mean, believe it or not, he doesn't take wicket, but he is never uneconomical. He is always an economical bowler. So that's so what is ongoing, and I honestly feel KKR is not going to retain him, or he might not want himself to be retained by KKR anymore. So yeah, that is the truth, and that's we have to digest.
Yeah, I think that's actually a bold prediction because I obviously wanted to know your thoughts. Like दिल से तो ऐसे लगता होगा कि काश कुलदीप को, because he had obviously has still age in with his side, and he would develop on to become a better bowler. So maybe in the mega auction we'll see him getting the big money given the way how he already has his name. So Abhijit, I would like to know about your thoughts on the playing 11 in terms of yours. So we'll just display our playing 11 once again on the screen, and then you can decide which spot do you think there should be a change in. So it's all yours, buddy.
Yeah. So what I feel is in in UAE, you are going to need three spinners. So Loki Ferguson will anyway be there. So in terms of fast bowling, okay, Team Saudi won't be there. What I feel is 90% it is going to be Sunil Narine. Or if there is some injury niggle or KKR wants some extra batting depth, then they will go for Sunil Narine. So consider that spot to be reserved for spin bowling all rounder, that is uh, Narine or Akib, and in place of Prasidh Krishna, Varun Chakravarti. So, okay, so KKR already has Andre Russell. He has been bowling death overs for KKR. I don't know if anyone noticed that, but he is our designated death bowler. So, Andre Russell is definitely going to be there. Loki Ferguson will start, and Varun Chakravarti definitely he is our leading bowler. And in place of Prasidh Krishna or Sandeep Warrior, and yeah, Kuldeep Yadav or Harbhajan Singh. That will be the case. I mean, what I feel is Prasidh Krishna slash Sandeep Warrior, depending upon who has impressed more in the net bowling section. And Kuldeep Yadav or Harbhajan Singh, KKR might go with Harbhajan Singh in the beginning, and maybe Team Saudi, no, it will be between Sunil Narine and if not, Sakib.
Well, yes, I agree with Abhijit here because Saudi to start off, I don't think he'll be a good choice to start with, and obviously when you've got Narayan in your squad, you have to play him. But I really don't know what's the case with Kuldeep Yadav here because if he plays and Narayan plays, then we have got three spinners in our team, which is a bit tentative for me because fresh pitches in UAE. So I'm really not sure if we'll go with three spinners. At the start of the tournament, maybe at the end, three, four at the end of the tournament. But then, yes, I completely agree with Abhijit here that. Prasidh Krishna and Sandeep Warrior, there has to be a good choice which will be made during the net. So let's see what happens. I'm quite excited for this new season, and yes, if Saudi plays, I guess he'll play the first couple of matches, and if he impresses, then he'll continue. And there's a no-brainer between Ferguson and Varun Chakravarti, who have been really impressive for us in the past few years as well. So completely agree with him there.
Definitely.
I just have a, small question for Abhijit. What do you make of Morgan's captaincy? Because it is my personal observation, might be wrong, that English captains have a way of leading teams differently. Even if they are 10 for 3 or 15 for 3, they still want to attack and take the bowlers out of the park. So, what do you make of Morgan's captaincy till now in this tournament?
To be honest, he himself is saying that I mean it will always be depending upon the results, how you are doing, because KKR, I mean, till this squad is there, KKR will never have an impactful death bowler. So he will always have to make a choice, like on that day, who is bowling the best till 15th over, that bowler will bowl the death over. So as he will always have to make those decisions, small decisions, like whether to send Nareen first or send Russell first. So when you are failing as a whole unit, there will always a scrutiny around you. So he might not be used to leading such a franchise before, because a franchisee in a IPL is already a complicated thing, and add the dilemma of Nareen or not having that extremely impactful death bowler, or you are not sure about Russell's batting position, then you are always in a tricky slot. You are always the whole world will always be watching you. And moreover, Dinesh Karthik gave up the captaincy. Then you have become the captain. You are never the first choice captain. So people will always criticize you because you are not even emotionally connected with the fans yet. Because KKR Morgan, I mean, we are yet to sinking that partnership. But as you said, rightly said, how English way of captaining is there. But I am yet to see even a 20 or 30% of that captainship in KKR. A captain is always, I mean, if you look at David Warner, he is extremely aggressive as a captain, but he is equally calm and composed. And sorry, he is, I mean, that much aggressive as a batsman for Australia. He will keep on fighting and whatever punch in the air after that 100. But he is equally calm and smart when he started captaining for SRH. So the change in character always happens when you start captaining an IPL team. So I am yet to see any change in that for Owen Morgan, because he is not expressive. I mean, you can't really figure out from his expression what he is thinking. It will always going to be his decisions. He's not someone who will take those catches and celebrate, or no, nothing. So it is always going to be those small decisions, and on that very given day, how batsmen are responding to his uh, call, or how the death bowling is going to be from KKR. On the basis of that, KKR will be judged. But to be honest, what I am thinking is this is a fresh start. Almost those first 7 matches are feeling like a past season, and every team has like two, three, two. I mean, RR has so many changes, but every team has started getting so many changes that I mean, Shuman Gill got injured. I mean, he narrowly got into KKR squad because he recovered in time. So it's a fresh start. The same team. Uh, Lord Rinku Singh is back on the field. His saves, to be honest, people troll him, but his presence on the field sometimes is so energetic that I love seeing him and Rahul Tripathi on the field, because KKR is one of the squad who is not known for that sharp fielding, but with Rinku Singh coming in that there could be some change in the field itself. So it's a new beginning, and I honestly want the momentum to go towards KKR. The first match is against RCB, and they are playing in blue jersey. KKR has beaten them each time they have played in green jersey. So I don't know what is going to be, and let's hope Morgan will bring what he does for England in the white ball segment. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Definitely, yes. And you spoke about blue jersey. I mean, obviously, you would not want to them to be playing like the other team in blue in the league. Obviously, for KKR's
Yeah,
sake, so I'm not going to name that team. So I think usually at the closing stages of this shows, we ideally do the prediction time for your team. But since today has been all about the news regarding the IPL retention and the IPL mega auction, I would like to know, Abhijit, your thoughts. Do you see Owen Morgan being retained in the mega auction? Do you see KKR having a fixed plan? And if yes, who are your two players to be retained ahead of the mega auction? And also, people in the comments, for your franchises, you can also name your two retention players. So we'll highlight all of your choices. So Abhijit, your take on this.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't see KKR retaining Owen Morgan because there is always a little bit of confusion with England players because sometimes they come, sometimes they don't come. I mean, they are also influenced with the thought process of ECB, how they feel. I strongly feel whatever three players backed out, just Wokes and other players as well. I strongly feel that is not solely because of the bubble fatigue. It has more. It could be more to do with the current mental tension ongoing because of the cancel. You call it cancelling or post whatever of the last test. So ECB's take on IPL always decides the fate of English players participating. So as there is always a risk of English player not coming to IPL. I mean, it will take a lot. Like if you have won back-to-back tournament under that player, then only KKR would have thought of retaining Morgan. But I don't see KKR retaining Morgan. And you said about two players. It could be Andre Russell for sure, and there will be toss up between. I mean, 90% they will retain Arun Chakrabarti, but there could be chances like if there is a third window. At the moment, what happened with the Sri Lanka tour is everybody become a capped player for India. So there is no phrase called Indian uncapped player because almost everyone who is जिसको रिटेन किया जा सकता है, those kind of players, retainable players, they have all become capped Indian player at the moment. So there could be chance like KKR might go for Nitish Rana or Shubman Gill if they are agreeing with certain amount that has been fixed by BCCI. Like if you are retaining second player, that is for this much amount, you can't go lower than that. If players are agreeing to that, then highly chances it will be Varun Chakrabarti, but if not Nitish Rana, then Shubman Gill.
Nice choices. I would also like to know your thoughts as well, Amog and Vansh. Vansh, going with you first about KKR. Who will be your two picks to be retained?
Well, I'm a big Shubman Gill fan, so I'll go with him this time. But I agree with Abhijit as well that Varun Chakravarti has been a strike bowler, and he has 7 or 8 variations, which is so critical, especially in the T20 format. So it will be a really tough call to make, but it's a no-brainer when it comes to Andre Russell because he's been a match winner for us since so long now, and we just need him to win a trophy now at KKR and. Let's see in the upcoming years. I really hope that Russell can come up and be that impact player which he was a couple of years ago. So let's see. But I feel Shubman Gill will be my preferred choice over Varun Chakravarti.
Good. What about you, Amog?
Yeah, I agree on Shubman Gill because I think even I love the way he plays, and KKR have a big advantage of grooming him because he's just making his ranks of the Indian team as well. So Shubman Gill for sure, and maybe I would go with someone like Lockie Ferguson because he adds just that little bit of pace for KKR, and there are not many bowlers who can notch that 150 mark as of now. So I think Shubman Gill and Lockie Ferguson for me.
Good choices, and we could already see people commenting about their choices for their respecting teams. And there was one interesting retention thing that I just saw about Ravindra Jadeja and Deepak Chahar. So obviously CSK fans are preparing for the life after MS Dhoni, and they believe that this is the last season where we'll see MS Dhoni in yellow color. So who knows? I mean, what could happen? And Varnata, of course, being very vocal about Rajasthan Royals ready for injury. I mean, obviously we have more injuries in our team this season than the IPL trophies of RCB. So I think that has been really cause for concern for my team. So I think yes, retention wise, even for RR, I think it will be really difficult to judge. So hopefully after the end of this season, we'll identify. I mean, obviously Jofra Archer seems to be my pick firstly, and Sanju Samson. And for RTM, I'm not sure if RR will opt for RTM. They would want to build a team from the scratch. Maybe Riyan Parag or Rahul Tewatia, but I don't see that happening. So Gentlemen, it has been 45 minutes of some great discussions regarding KKR and Kuldeep Yadav for that matter. I really loved to hear Abhijeet's thought about Kuldeep Yadav, because that is one question which we always ask to ourselves, whether you are a KKR fan or not. But you obviously feel bad for Kuldeep Yadav given the way how he was treated since 2018. So it's hopefully things go well for KKR and even as Kuldeep Yadav for that matter. And for Abhijeet's sake, we want to see the 2014 season repeat. I know that it's difficult to expect that with the leadership and all the things going around, but we obviously love to see KKR competing well. And since the last few years, they have been really consistent in making the playoffs. But as you said, Sunrisers Hyderabad has been your boogie team. So I'll just remind you all, everyone, that tomorrow we have a live IPL build-up show for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. So, Abhijeet, I'm sorry, but that is how it goes. I mean, we obviously have the rival teams ahead of each other, so it is really going to be a fun watch. So make sure to tune in that. Abhijeet, before closing, I would like you to mention about your pages, mainly your three pages. I must say that we have already put out the links in the description, so you can talk about your 12th 9 Bleeds Blue page, KKR Golden Knights, and even your jersey illustration page. So go ahead, it's all yours.
Yeah, I almost forgot I have third page. So yeah, you can check me on Instagram. It's 12th Night Bleeds Blue, which you can see on the screen. There I post many, you can call it passionate KKR stuff. You can see me cheering for KKR each time, and ऐसा कि कुछ भी ओकेजन हो तो उसमें मैं KKR घुसा देता हूँ. तो that is my, and yeah, I have started this fan club called KKR Golden Knights. As you can see, our second color is gold, yellow actually, but gold. So there I have little bit of graphics designing interest, so I create cartoons, and for each match I put some illustration like what is happening in the match. Usko cartoon bana ke I do post there. And also another is there, it's called Crick Abhijeet. There I just simply I have designed enormous amount of jerseys, recreated rather. So I have created so many jerseys these days that I wanted to keep it a separate tab. That's a new profile altogether. So Crick Abhijeet is that one. So yeah, you can see two users on the screen, and the other one is Crick Abhijeet. Over to you, Sanjay.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And do make sure to follow them. I mean, Abhijeet is a really talented person. And I remember when he started the KKR Golden Knights page, and he obviously reached out to me about the page. And I really loved the first podcast that you did about the auction just earlier this year. So everyone, please make sure to go there, follow and subscribe to even KKR Golden Knights page. The link is out in the description, and show Abhijeet your support. So thanks, Abhijeet. Thanks, Amok. Thanks once for joining us. It has been a great 45 minutes plus kind of a show. So really enjoyed each and everything. And hopefully we have a wonderful season up ahead for all the team's sake. And thanks to everyone who tuned in the comments as well. I mean, the banter was on right from the minute one. We saw CSK fans, MI fans, even RCB led by Varnata ma'am herself in the comment section being lively. I mean, obviously with IPL, you get to see all this fun and banter thing going around, but it is the beauty of IPL. We love the game so much. And who is the calculator champion? Yeah, yes, I think obviously this is a question to be asked, but yes, in all fun spirit, we hope to see all the teams doing well, and maybe in the World Cup we'll have all these teams players performing well for India and take the trophy home. So also make sure, guys, in about 10 minutes time we'll be posting our poster for tomorrow's episode, that is on the Sunrisers Hyderabad, and it is going to be a very special episode for me personally. I'm not going to reason why, because obviously people close to me will know why tomorrow's date is special to me as well. So make sure to tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Sunrise Hyderabad live, and we'll see you there. So till then, follow the Third Man Cricket Show on all the social media platform. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss out the episode when it goes live at 7 p.m. So thanks, Abhijeet. Thanks, Vanch. Thanks, Amog. This is Sanchit Desai signing off.
Thank you.